Now I just want to finish off this report. I want to create the remaining buttons on my dashboard. So I'm going to click on the action button that sits on top of the card, actually for Europe population, and I'm just going to move it down here somewhere out of the way. I then click on this card and I'm going to go Control C, Control V to make a duplicate of it, and I'm just going to move it to the right of the median age. Now, having made a copy of that, I'm then going to go over to my fields and I'm going to untick population, which is in the population query. And I actually want to tick age in the age data. And there's my age there, because this is going to be the median age by continent. So I've got age ticked. Now I need to remove the continent. So I'm going to, because it's coming from the wrong field. So I'm going to remove that, and I'm grabbing the continent from the age data query and I'll drop it into there, and I'll choose Europe, and then I'll close that. Oops, collapse that. I also want to change this from being sum. So if I go back to here, I can change my age from being sum to being the median age. I need the median age. And I also need to rename it. So I'm going to go in here and rename for this visual and just call it median age. Take the of out. The other thing I want to do is I want to format it. So I'm going to format this visual. I certainly want to set the decimal places. So I'm going to type decimal and I'll set the decimal places to 0. I also want to change the unit from billions to auto. So the median age is 38. And I want to change the color. Remember, this is an American package, so spell color this way. I want to change the color to category label, title, effects, visual border. Which color am I wanting to change? I'm wanting to change the color of the wording, 38. So that would be this call out value. And I'm going for sort of like a deep red, this color here, DD6B7F. So it gives it that sort of red look. And I'm happy with that. I could adjust, actually I could adjust the height of it a little, or just arrow it up and nudge it up. That's what I'd prefer. And now I'm going to duplicate that, Control C, Control V, that's for Asia, Africa, Oceania, and Americas. And just put those into position. 1, 2. And then I'm just going to adjust the filter for each continent. So this should have the continent, not Europe, but in fact Asia. This one should have the continent Africa. This should have the continent Oceania. Oops, not that one, this one. Take that off, Oceania. And this one should have the continent North and South America. Okay, I might actually hold the Shift key and select each of these. And if I go to Format, I'll align them to the bottom. So they're all perfectly to the bottom. I'm going to grab the action button that I put over here and put that on top of the population for Europe again. So I've made those particular median ones. Now what I'd like to do is I'd like to do the life expectancy. So for the life expectancy, let me just refer to my notes. I'm just going to take a copy of this, Control C, Control V, pop it down here, change the field from age to life expectancy, and particularly life years. So that's the life years, life expectancy. I would like to go to this option here and change it from sum to average. So that's the average life expectancy. I would like to click the drop down and rename this visual and just call it average life expectancy, or average years is sufficient. Average years. I would then like to change the color. So format this visual, color. And the color I'm looking for is more sort of this type of color. So I'll choose that. And that is that particular one done. Now, actually, I need to close that. I need to get rid of this continent and grab the life expectancy continent and put that in, and then tick Europe. So that's the average life expectancy for someone in Europe. And I'm now going to click that, Control C, V, 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 pop that one over there, pop that one over there, pop that one over there, and pop that one there. Click each one with either the Shift or the Control key, and maybe align those under Format, align those to the top. Now this particular one here, I'm going to go into the continent filter card, take off Europe and put on Asia. This one here, again, take off Europe and put on Africa. This one here, take off Europe and put on Oceania. And this one here, take off Europe and put on North and South America. And so now I've got my average ages. I'm going to save that particular. I could create action buttons and get it to move to my various pages. Maybe I should do that. So I'll click on this action button, and if I drag it, yeah, it is the action button. I'm going to go Control C, Control V to duplicate it, pop it over the top of this. I'll use my arrow keys to nudge it across. I'm then going to change the action that it goes to the page median age, and I'm then going to copy that, Control V, move it into position because it's quite hard to see because it's transparent. Control V, move it into position. So any of these buttons, any of these cards now look like navigational cards, and they will go to the appropriate page. If I Control V one more time, I can pop it over the top of average years. I can go into the action and tell it go to the page. Now, did I actually create life expectancy? There it is, life expectancy. And again, Control C, Control V, and pop these over the top of Control V, over the top of these cards to make them navigational cards. And I'm just copying and pasting. You can see the importance of copy and paste. You'll save yourself so much time. And that basically is my dashboard done. So I'm going to save my Power BI file. That's done. I'm going to publish it and to my workspace and select that option. I'm going to replace it, and so hopefully I get a success message, which means that I've successfully managed to publish my report to the Power BI service. If I then click this, I can open it and I can see it in Power BI service, and this is what my users will see. They are able to click these options and go back and forth, and this option, and go back, and this option, and go back. So it's working well in the service, as well as my page navigation on the right here. And I'll close that and I go back to, got it, Power BI desktop.